pushing. It was it was definitely a longer shot than you usually take whitetail hunting unless you're sitting on power lines or pipelines or senderos out in Texas or something like that. It's probably about 300 yards. So anyway, I fired off down through there, and I ain't touched nobody. Everybody disappeared. I went over there and walked all around that hillside and made sure I didn't hit him or nothing like that. And so during the middle of the day, I went back and dug that rail back out of the where I done throwed it, and uh, somebody was with me. Charles Moat was with me, and he said, "Where we go?" I said, "We're going to the hardware store." And he said, "What we going?" I said, "We're getting some pipe insulation and a roll of camouflage duct tape." And so I took that railing and I wrapped that puppy all the way around there. And so that evening, I went back in there and I gathered up my stand and I moved to the ridge that I had missed him on. Well, it started getting real late, and I couldn't see as good down through the woods. I I stood up and turned around in the stand and was leaning, looking back up where I had been, and I bet I shot him. I bet he went 50 yards from where my tree stand had been sitting the first time. So I moved out there in the woods to get on the hill. He come out in the soybean field up there, you know, and he's I don't even know what he is. He's hanging around here somewhere. He had one main beam. I don't know. He's hard to describe. He got one main beam and he's real clean out there on the end, and then he's got three tines stacked up and then a brow tine, something like that, and all that. So anyway, it just goes to show you that you really don't never know, especially with the rut. But number one, get your stand out there where you can see. If you can't see, you can hear. Number two, be mobile. Don't be scared to move. And they'll tell you, you get various things about the calling end of things. And the way I always looked at it is it was the last day of Alabama's deer season one year, so it was January 31st or somewhere there nearby, and I carried my rattling horns in there, and I was just tickling around at times. It was real early in the day. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was just tickling the tines together, and I looked up, and here come this deer across this cow pasture, and I was like, well, I wonder what he was running from. And he hit the fence, and he come running down the fence, like straight down. I was about 100 yards off the fence on the fire break right there. And he got right even with me at that fire break, and he jumped over the fence, and he just slowed down and went into that stiff-legged walk, and he started shaking his horns side to side, just shaking his head. And I'll never forget when I put the scope on him, he was coming to me, and when I put the scope on him, I could see him dripping from his nose, and he was licking his nose, and just everything about classic. He was coming to fight, and that was at the end of the normal season, which everybody would have swore that the rut had peaked in mid-January or something. So you just never know. Well, that's just something for y'all to think about, and we'll pick this up again the next time I talk to you. Till later, y'all take care.